Hi guys, can you hear me now? You can just put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hi Radhika. Hi Muskan. Can you all hear me now? Okay, that's good. Hi Ila. Let's just wait. Okay, Arjun, I think he sent a request again. I really hope it connects now, but there seemed to be a problem on Arjun's end. Hi Priya. So, guys, while we're waiting for Arjun, if you have any questions for me, just put them down here. I'm up for a chat until Arjun joins us. I think he's having a real problem with his network and his connection there. But till then, you have any questions for me? Just okay, Arjun is joining again. I really. Uh, April 2015, correct? And which do you remember which month you joined?
Yes. I think, in
Oh
the
wow,
second batch,
that's
second or
awesome.
third. Yeah. Because every
Yes.
month you guys were enrolling, so I was in
Wow,
maybe
that's
the
that's
third
like
month or
5
something.
years ago.
Yes.
That's nice. So, where are you now, Arjun?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, you're
I'm
working for
currently in Dubai
Ladure, right?
and
Yeah.
working
So,
with
I was
Ladure.
thinking,
Yes.
yes, yeah.
It's a
I'm sure
French-based
everyone's heard
company.
of Ladure, based in France, but available all over the world, right? Yeah. So I was thinking, let's talk about your journey with the academy first, and then we can talk about your experience and the journey to Junior Pastry Cup along with Manjot, right? So do you want to say, you want to talk a little bit about your experience in the academy?
Yeah, sure. It was a great experience.
Do you want to talk about your experience with the academy? Yeah.
The academy, yeah, the academy was,
Hmm.
well, the experience was great. The knowledge that I had and I learned from you guys, Chef Mukesh, especially when you came, you were totally involved with us, and it was great to be
Yeah.
around so many different types of people and coming from different backgrounds and just coming into pastry, just following their passion, and that passion really bonded
Yeah.
everyone together. I mean, I remember during even lunchtime and everything, we
Yeah.
would just talk about pastry. Just different types of recipes, just some different types of
Yeah.
techniques. It was really an amazing
Yeah. So,
experience.
when you were, I think, for selections for the Junior Pastry Cup, I think we had that one criteria where the students had to be below 23 years of age, correct? Yes. Yeah, and I
Yes,
think it
I
was
barely
only
made the mark. I
Manjot.
remember I was going
Okay.
to turn
Okay. Yeah.
20
And I think it
to,
was only you and Manjot who were eligible for the competition. So we couldn't have a pre-round to select anybody.
yeah. Yeah, at that time I
Yeah.
think everything was very new to us, and maybe since it was the first time, so yeah, we got
So
selected
you
by
want
the
to
academy like
tell us
that.
about your
Yeah.
experience with Junior Pastry Cup?
Junior Pastry Cup was really stressful, I would say, because of the hard practice and everything, but fun at the same time. A
Yeah.
whole other experience altogether. It was
So
just
let's start with the
constant
India
practice
selections.
and
Let's start with the
ideas,
India selection. What
flavors,
was your
whatever.
theme and what all you had to
Yeah.
make? And how did you feel during the competition?
Well, for India theme, the feeling was it was like an adrenaline rush, I would say. It was great. And the
Hmm.
theme, we based it
Yeah.
on horoscope. And so Zodiac was our
Hmm.
main concentration. And we were trying to depict our
Yes.
zodiac sign through our creations. Mine being Virgo and Manjot's being Sagittarius. So we played
Yeah.
around that theme somewhere. And the decoration and the flavors, we tried to, the colors and everything, we tried to
Yeah.
focus it on
So
the
you were
zodiacs.
trained by Chef Lawrence
It
and
was
Chef
nice,
Tan, right?
just the ideas flowing. Yes, Chef Tan, Chef Lawrence, even
Okay. So
Chef Otto.
they trained y'all in
Yeah. Chef Otto
chocolate
also
display
helped
and
us a
sugar
lot.
display.
Yes, the main displays that were made during the India competition, especially, were completely helped by Chef Tan and Chef Lawrence. Chef Lawrence, I'm not sure if everyone still knows, but
Yeah.
he's like the chocolate master, great at whatever he does. And Chef Tan,
World
everyone
pastries
has to know
champion.
him, the world pastry champion now.
Yes.
Finally, I mean, I've seen that man. He can do some really amazing things with
Yeah.
sugar. He's so innovative and
So do you
brilliant.
remember what creations you
Uh,
had to make?
just working with such
Do you
people.
remember what creations you had to make during the competitions? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For the India competition, we had one display each, sugar, one chocolate. We had an entremet, and we had bonbons. Then we had one
Okay.
more thing,
And I
plated
think there were
dessert.
five
Yeah.
other teams with you all competing at the same time, right? That's great.
Yes, in India we were
Yeah.
competing
I
against
still
five
remember
others.
we made a lovely menu
Yeah.
and we decorated the table in to a theme related to the horoscope, the dark purple. Remember, I still remember running around cutting those golden stars to fill the
Yes.
presentation table.
Yes. I remember how
I
much
think it's
hard work
everyone's
you had
hard
to put
work.
in it. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember me and Manjot, we used to be in the kitchen completely practicing, doing our trials, doing the 7, 8 hour trials that we
Yeah.
had to do while you were running around
Yeah.
everywhere gathering these
So
decorative
the
stuff
trials
and
used to be,
everything.
so it was how many hours? I think 8 hours each day, right? So you used to do your trials, yeah. So you used to do your
Yeah, the
trials
India
morning,
competition was 8 hours.
morning for 8 hours the whole day, 2 days continuously. And imagine being on your feet for so many hours. But it's a lot of hard work that you have to put in into this competition. But going to Italy and going at the international level has, you had to put in double the effort, double the hard work, right?
Oh, definitely. The Italy competition was very, very difficult, I would say. A whole other level from India competition. Because over there, I mean, I feel that,
Hmm.
children and everything, whoever is competing, he might be below
Yeah.
23, but he has been doing that as a
Yes, you're right.
profession since
Yeah.
a very long time. And it was a little difficult to compete with them, but I think we
Yes, you're
gave
right.
a
Y'all
good shot
actually
at
did
it.
really well, but we faced a lot of challenges, especially in Italy. You remember going to Italy, we didn't get our luggage for so long. We actually thought at the last second that we are not going to get the luggage,
Yes.
and it was around 400 kilos of luggage, right? All our ingredients, all our equipment, our trolleys, our robocoop, everything is stuck in customs, and till I think a few hours before the competition, we were not able to get the equipment.
Yeah, it was really difficult and it was hard
Yeah.
just to get the supplies into us. And I remember we just started like a few hours before the
Yeah.
competition to set up and
Yes.
everything when we finally
Yeah.
got
While the
our
rest of the
cargo.
teams, had the whole day, but
Yeah.
because we didn't have our cargo on time. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about
Yes.
those 2 days of the competition in Italy? How do you feel about the judges, the other teams? What went through your mind? Were you frightened? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
Definitely, we were really excited just to be there
Hmm.
and nervous by looking at
Yeah.
others and their preparation. So we would always, me and Manjot, I remember we used to talk a lot. They're like, hey, look at that, hey, look at
Do you
that, they have
remember we
this, they have
cooked
that.
sugar in the
Then we would be
room
like,
on
okay,
the
okay, don't
floor?
worry, we can
We had
handle
no
it.
place to work, and we cooked all, like, I think, what, 50, 60 kilos of sugar in the hotel room, in the bathroom. We poured the sugar. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yes, of course, I remember that. That is an experience I can never
Yeah.
forget. That was all because just the
Yeah.
cargo got really delayed. I think that gave us a lot of experience and gave a lot of
Yes, of
experience to
course.
the academy also
Yeah.
in future competitions,
Yes. So I think for
especially
the
for
Italy
Italy.
competition, you had very similar desserts to make, right? A glass dessert and what else?
Yeah, the desserts were very similar. Just they had special criterias like they wanted specific
Yeah.
bonbon flavors, and the quantities
Yeah.
were much larger, of course, because the judges were from every country. The
Yes.
trainer, the coach was the judge.
Yes.
So it was a very fair
Yeah.
competition, I would say.
Yeah, so for this competition, it's a team of three, two contestants, just to tell everyone, and one mentor. So when Arjun and Manjot went
Yeah.
to Italy in 2017, I went as their mentor or their coach representing Team India. So the coach or the mentor who goes is also the judge for the other desserts of every other country that is present there. That is, I think there were total 12 countries that were participating in the competition. So we judge all the remaining 11
Yeah.
countries except for our own, obviously. But even from my end, I think the experience was amazing. It was the first time for me, and especially to represent your country and go to Italy and represent your country. I think it gave us a sense of responsibility and. But obviously, we're nervous, because, like I said, we're representing the country. But the experience was amazing. I think we're very proud of Arjun and Manjot. If Manjot is here, I would have brought in Manjot, but you cannot put in three people here. But the experience was amazing, right?
Yes, the experience and that moment, that feeling when you get a chef
Yeah,
coat with your name on it and right next to it is your country's flag.
is
Just
amazing.
wearing that
Yeah,
is a
yeah, you're right.
big,
Yeah.
huge,
So
proud
now,
moment.
after Arjun and Manjot really did their best at the Junior Pastry Cup. So the Junior Pastry Cup happens every 2 years, and in 2019 we had another team of our students who went to Italy and represented the country again. But after that, Arjun, can you tell us what after you passed from the academy, after the Junior Pastry Cup, what was the journey then? Where did you continue after that?
I knew I had to come to Dubai for obvious reasons. My fiance was over here and everything. So I started looking for a job. My main goal was La Journée because even when I was in France for 6 months while my
Yeah.
training was going on, uh, everyone raved about La Journée. Like you have to have macaroons from La Journée. The pastry is like they're even Pierre Hermé was working for La
Okay.
Journée at
Yeah.
one point of time. So he is the one who
Oh,
created their
okay.
recipes and
Wow.
everything. So imagine the god of macaroons is
Wow.
making the recipes over here. Yeah. So that was my benchmark, and with a lot of help, of course, I would say I did not do it alone. I got through, and I got through the
Okay.
interview and everything. Well, what really pushed me in and got me through that was the knowledge and the skills that I
That's
learned
amazing.
from
So
academy.
why don't you tell us something about your experience or what is the work life there in Lature?
Well, the work is pretty easy because we've been taught well. And as
So how
far
does
as
how does your day go?
competitiveness
How does it day?
amongst
What is your day like?
the day, We usually have two shifts. One is the morning shift, which does the main production and the mise en place for
Hmm.
the entire pastry and everything. And then there's the night shift, which finishes the pastries and sends them to the
Okay.
locations and the shops in the
So
morning.
so there's one production unit in the whole of
So if
Dubai.
you're in the morning shift, yes,
Oh,
whole of UAE, not even just Dubai. We
okay.
have shops in Abu Dhabi as well, and we
Wow.
recently opened in Kuwait as well. That is a separate production unit, but the main production unit we supply
Wow.
to the entire
So you are
UAE.
working for that main production unit.
So we get orders.
So so
Yes, I'm working for the
yeah.
main
So
production unit.
so you're saying all the
Currently,
pastries that are made at Ladure is made at this production unit, and they send it all over UAE on a daily basis.
yes, to the shops all over a daily basis. And if we have special orders, then there are deliveries to
Yeah. So
other
what about the
Emirates
macaroons,
in
the
UAE.
world famous macaroons? What about them? There's a machine made, or do you have to sell pipe individually, or
Well, the
what is it?
macaroons, to be very honest, when I came over here, I learned how much a brand value is important. So just to keep their brand value, their macaroons are completely made in
Wow.
France and then shipped all across the world for just a same
Wow.
taste every time. To just
That is
standards are
amazing.
maintained all the time. Yes. So so we do not have any part of doing in the macaroons other than we make
Yeah.
macaroon pyramids and all. So it's
Yeah.
like a cone-shaped
Okay.
pyramid of styrofoam. We place macaroons all
The
around it.
macaroon
So that is
towers.
made by us. Other than that, yeah, the macaroon towers. Or it's just like a crocum
Yeah.
bush also. That's also we make sometimes with
Okay.
like a shoe pastry and everything. But the
Okay.
macaroons
So
are
how is
completely from there.
work like? Before I go to that, you were saying you learned a lot about brand value. Do you want to elaborate a little more than what you've learned about brand value there? Since you're working with such a
Well,
famous chain or a famous brand.
especially for Lajure, brand value is so important that even if you take a franchise, you will always be
Okay.
under France's command. You cannot start or stop anything. You cannot change any ingredient in the recipe. You cannot change any decoration. If the
Right.
raspberry is
Okay.
supposed to be on the right, it's always on the right. Their standards are at the highest that I've seen ever. And even if I am
Hmm.
representing La Dure anywhere else, like I've
Oh.
represented La Dure in India as well, twice
Okay.
for wedding events. I was in India maybe
Oh.
in
Okay.
Feb this year. Yeah, I was in Indore. There was a
So
special
they
event over
send
there
you
for
to
a wedding.
India and
A
you
really
bring
fancy,
desserts
huge.
and macaroons and you set up an uh,
Yeah, we bring everything with dry ice and all. All the production is already done. We come here, we finish the product,
wow.
and we display the
That's awesome.
counters and
So,
everything
you
for the
know,
marriage.
before I joined the academy, I was working at the Umaid Bhavan Palace in Jodhpur. And I remember there was a really, there was really huge destination wedding happening there. And one of the owners called for laduri, and there was a huge stall of laduri macarons. It was really pretty. So when you said that, you know, you come down for events, I kind of thought of that. So I know what you're talking about. So you bring the setup as well, right?
Yeah, and these guys, especially, yeah, we bring our setup, we bring our,
Yeah.
basically, they're bringing
Yes.
their brand all together with
Yeah.
everything, their specialized packaging,
Wow.
their
So that means
boxes,
this experience you have
the
is
pastries,
amazing.
everything have to be. Yeah, it's absolutely been wonderful. Really, brand value that I've seen over here and the standards that they try and maintain is non-negotiable. You cannot do anything and
So
you
I
have to
have a
follow it.
question for you. So do you think it is your skills that you've learned at the academy and that you're holding an academy certificate that got you the job? So what I was saying is, yeah,
Definitely, it gave me a huge advantage.
no,
It gave me a big advantage, and as I said, Uh, the skills definitely were
Yeah,
polished over
of
here,
course. You need the
taught in the
experience.
academy, and the knowledge, yes. But in an
Hmm.
interview, the first thing is your knowledge and the way you can
Yeah,
explain what you have learned. The skill comes later. So the knowledge that you guys have taught me is far, far ahead of maybe anyone who I work with. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
talking about like
Obviously,
the
yeah.
head chef and the sous chef and everything, but like my category, my position people, I would say my knowledge would be
Wow, that's
far greater
awesome.
than theirs.
So they let you do. So what part of the pastry shop are you working at? Like, do you have are there sections or how does it go?
No, we do not have sections. Like the part that I'm
Okay.
working is a central kitchen. We
No, no,
cater to
I'm
six
talking about
shops
you in
and
specific,
special orders and
like your
events.
responsibility on a daily basis.
So as I said,
Hmm.
we have two shifts. It
Hmm.
depends which shift you're working in. Accordingly, your
Oh, okay,
responsibilities
okay.
are divided. But it's not
Yeah,
like in a hotel. I know, like every time there's a bakery shift. The two people who are
yeah, yeah.
only
That's
doing
how it is. Yes,
doughs and
yes.
breads and everything. So over here, we just know the jobs that are supposed to be done for the day. And if you know it,
Oh,
if
wow,
you want to
that's
do
good.
it, you can do it.
Wha Yeah,
No
so
one
you
will
were saying
object to it or
you are
stop
the
you.
only Indian working in the shop, right? And no one else is. Yeah. So how is it? I mean,
Yes.
how are the people around you? How's your pastry chef? Do you get training?
Well, my head chef, she has a
Okay.
lot of workload on her, so now she's
Okay.
decreased her presence in the kitchen. My former sous chef,
Hmm.
who has become the head chef in Kuwait now,
Okay.
he is from UK. He is one of the again one of the best chefs I've ever worked with.
I think there was a problem there. Okay.
The
Yeah.
video froze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, the
Now you
video
can hear me.
froze. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Continue.
So as I
Continue.
was saying, yeah, nothing. I was just saying that the sous chef over here, he
Okay.
has personally taught me a lot, and I'm very grateful to him and
That's
everyone
good. That's
around
good.
here.
So, what's your next plan now? What do you see yourself in the coming years, or where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Sorry. In the next 10 years, my goal, personal goal, is to become a head chef. Hopefully, larger
Wow.
itself, because I am really in love
Yeah.
with the brand, in love with it. And previously, they would not appoint head chefs who are not French because they have to
Oh, okay.
communicate with French chefs in France. But now that barrier has been broken. The head chef who has become the head chef in Kuwait, he is from
Okay.
UK, so he doesn't know French or anything. But so it's a possibility now. And soon I'm hearing from these head chefs and the international chefs who come in and teach us and everything. So they personally spoke to me and they're planning to
Oh,
open a
really?
ladure in
Wow.
India
When?
very very
Please tell
soon
me it's
now.
in Mumbai. Is it
Yes,
in Mumbai?
very soon. I have no idea. No, they did
Okay.
not disclose the city. They said they're looking for
Wow.
investors, and recently I heard that they
Wow.
are going ahead with it. They will be opening
Yeah.
soon, but
Yeah.
you know the situation right now
Yeah.
of the world, so it might be put on
Yeah.
hold,
I
but
think it will do
it's definitely
really
on their
well
to-do list.
in India.
Yeah, definitely, because that's the thing. I have been in India twice
Okay.
in the past
Yeah.
2.5 years for special events. So if they have a production unit in India, they know the
Wow.
possibilities
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
good
They will
business.
for sure. That's good.
Mm.
So. I think just the last thing, is there any advice you want to give to our current students in the academy or anyone who wishes to join about working abroad or about the academy or anything you would like to tell anyone?
Well, people who have enrolled in the academy or have already cleared the academy and passed out, I would just say they know they're in the right place. For sure, they're in good hands. They're in the best hands, to be honest. In fact, today evening, Major Dinesh, he sent me a link saying about
Yeah.
India Today or something. Our
Yes.
academy was
Yes.
ranked the number one in India. So just hearing that makes everyone who is in the
Yes.
academy,
It was.
around the
It
academy,
was.
very proud. So
Yeah. It was.
definitely
It
in
was
the
a
best
privilege for us
hands.
to see those news today. That's good. So, anything else you want to share with our
Yes.
viewers, Arjun?
So you're
Yeah.
in great hands. Yeah, you're in great hands. Just learn, have fun, and just follow your passion. The most important thing is grasp as much as you can, learn about flavors, which will help you a lot in the future to
Yeah.
create something of your own, maybe. Creations are very important. I mean, you can follow recipes 100 times, but creating, that's a real
Yes, it's
chef's
true.
job, I would say.
Yeah. So,
So,
any. Yeah.
and the field also
No, 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 no.
is,
Continue, please.
sorry.
Continue.
No, I'm just saying, just the field that everyone has chosen to be a chef, even from different backgrounds, is a great thing because no matter
Yes.
what, people still go to eat. People will always eat, and such a profession
Yeah.
will never die. It will
So,
only grow.
I think I didn't ask you. The most first question supposed to ask you actually. What made you join pastry, or what made you want to become a pastry chef?
Uh, where I did hotel management. So during my hotel management second year, we're supposed to go
Okay.
for a training of 6 months. I
Yeah.
opted to go to France for that. And during my 6 months in France, I actually saw what French pastry was. That was the
So, where did
first
you
time
train
I
in
ever
France?
experienced such a thing. And since then, I went to Chamonix, Mont
Okay.
Blanc. It's a very small town
Hmm.
in Mont Blanc region,
Okay.
near the hills,
Yeah.
near the Alps to be precise. A very beautiful town. People just go there for during the
Hmm.
winters to ski and everything. So it's crowded with tourists. So that was the first time I experienced French traditions, French cultures, their pastries,
That made you
and
want to become a
that's
pastry
it.
chef. That
I
was
made up my
amazing.
mind there. That yes, that was
Yeah.
it.
So
I
then
could not back out
I'm
from there.
very I feel like it's we feel very privileged to say that after looking at French pastries, you decided to join Academy of Pastries because you saw that we teach very similar pastries at the academy, right?
Yes, completely. All the pastries that I do over here has already been
Hmm.
taught to me.
Yeah.
They do it in a different way, of course, slightly different way, which is not
Yeah.
difficult to learn. I mean, we understand
So,
pastries, so it's okay.
actually, this reminded me of one more thing. So, many of our students ask us, Chef, do you think that it's important to go work in a standalone bakery, a pastry shop, or a hotel after doing the course? What do you think, Arjun? Or should we just go and open a pastry shop of our own? What do you think, and why do you think it's important to work in a shop before you open something of your own?
Well, even if you work in a shop or you manage your own pastry, your own bakery, and everything will have its plus points. You'll learn to manage your own thing
Yeah.
if you're doing your own thing. And if you're doing, working in a professional bakery and something under someone, you will learn bulk production, how to store it, how
Basically,
to
you'll
work
polish your
about the
skills.
ingredients. You learn not just about, yes, definitely you'll polish your skills. And I feel it'll be better if you first work and then open something of your own. You'll be better in costing. You'll be better at storing your ingredients, ordering your stuff, how to work about your menu, planning it, seasonal stuff that comes in, goes out. You learn a lot while
Standing
you're in
at
a big kitchen.
Ladure.
Unfortunately, no. We cannot plan personally anything. We can help our head chef. She then consults with France and
Decides. Okay.
decides. But we need to choose their
Okay.
pastries. Now, the creation part of it, I have been creating one or two pastries with my
Hmm.
sous chef. So that is also once we create something, it
Yeah.
goes for further approval to France. And once
So
it's
we
approved,
have
then
a
we can start it.
question by Ela. Do
But
you
yeah, when
all
it's a
get to create your own pastries while working at Ladure?
yeah,
So I think you already answered that. Yeah.
no, unfortunately, we do not create our own, but we, especially I have personally helped my sous chef a lot in his creations. But yeah, make sure these creations which are approved, they're not just implemented in here in UAE, they're implemented all
Wow.
across the world. And that recipe, that creation goes in their recipe book. Like Lajure
Wow.
recipes are stored together. So that's
That's
like a
awesome.
Ladure
So,
creation
guys,
of its own.
just to, if you have any questions for Arjun, please write them down. We will answer all your questions. He works at Ladure. He represented India at the Junior World Pastry Championship in 2017. Please put in your questions. I'm sure many of you have questions about his experience, about his life in the academy, his life at Ladure. So please put in any questions you have for him. So Arjun, is there anything else you want to talk about, um,
I
or is this good? Yeah,
This is good for me. If there's anything that anyone
yeah.
would like to
So
ask, I'm free to answer.
Manjot, who was your partner at the Junior Pastry Cup, she currently works with the academy as an assistant pastry chef. So she's also doing really well.
Yeah, I speak to Manjot quite
Hmm.
often, to be honest. We both talk how is our
Yeah.
life going, how is work, and what are we learning. Because even for her and me, I mean, personally, our learning should never stop.
Yeah.
You should always keep learning. So that's what Manjot
So
and
we
I
have a
always had
question
in
from
common.
Rubani. Okay, so just for your information, Arjun Rubani is
Yeah.
an alumni from our Mumbai Academy, and she is also working really hard to participate for the Junior Pastry Cup. So she's asking us, can you tell us more about your experience participating for Junior Pastry Cup? What would you like to know, Rubani?
Yeah, sure. I mean, great.
Okay. We have another question. In the meantime, Ela is asking again. For people who do not have a degree from IHM,
Yeah.
do you know if they get accepted for job like yours?
To be honest, Asia. In Malaysia, we went there for training for the world competition. We went there for about
Okay.
2 weeks or so, during which we designed our menu, we designed our showpieces and everything, helped by Chef Tan, Chef Lawrence, and Chef
Yeah.
Roto, and all
Uh,
around everyone helped us. The experience is really good because their way of working is very professional. They've been doing this for a very, very long time, and they have a lot of things to teach
Okay. So we
everyone.
have a question from Prayas. What's the difference between working in India and working in Dubai in terms of work culture?
Well, work culture in Dubai, I would say, is
Hmm.
very professional till a large extent, but not as like strict as India. India is, if you're working in a
Hmm.
hotel, you know you're going to get grilled. It's very strict, and you have to maintain a decorum and everything. Over here, people are friendly, people teach you, and even if they're more knowledgeable than you or at a higher level, they will still take time out and work with you, try and explain to you as much as they can.
Okay.
People from all around the world. So you
Yeah.
meet people, you learn different things.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's true. So I cannot speak in terms of working abroad because I haven't worked there yet. But yeah, you're right. Okay, so Rubani says, tell us about the experience of creating your own desserts and learning from the chefs. I think this is in regard to Junior Pastry Cup.
Okay. Because in Junior Pastry Cup, it I agree, Chef Fan and everyone were helping us, but we were supposed to come up with the
Hmm.
flavors and design something of our own. Then they would accept it
Hmm.
or make changes to it. So it really got us thinking of how the pastry can represent India, because it had to represent India and Indian flavors as well,
Yeah.
especially the glass dessert. So we tried to incorporate, I think,
Yeah,
Gulkand
I
also,
see.
if you
Because it was
remember.
an Indian
It
based
was a really
dessert,
fun
right?
time.
In the glass.
We
The
we
glass dessert was Indian based dessert. Yeah.
yeah, we finally
Yeah.
went with
Sago
sago
pudding.
pudding, but yeah, it was a really
Yeah.
nice experience with Chef Pan. He helped us a lot. Uh, just sharing
Yeah.
ideas, bouncing off of each other. He says something. If I say something, then he works
Yeah.
on that idea further
Yeah.
and gives us a larger
So Ela says
explanation.
during trials there must have been times where you felt things weren't going as per plan. How did you deal with that?
Well, if something is not going as per plan, that means the trial is doing its
Yeah.
job. That's what the
Yes.
trial is supposed to do for you, to show you
Yeah.
what you're doing wrong, so that you don't mess up the same thing
Yeah.
in the main competition. That's why we
Yeah.
had
We
trials every day.
we used to
So
work
just to see
really
what is
late. I
going
think we
wrong, how to
spent
improve
nights in
it.
the academy, right? We used to stay overnight in the academy, just practicing, working. It was crazy. We used to eat Maggie from the auntie who used to sit outside. Remember? Yeah, and we used to buy packets of
Yeah.
Maggie, keep it in the stove
Yes.
only for dinner. I think the experience was amazing. We did a lot of trials. Trials are basically doing a rehearsal or practicing everything in the competition to make sure that all the desserts and the showpieces are completed on time, because there were marks for not giving up your desserts or giving your showpieces on time. So Arjun and Manjot used to do trials. They
Yeah.
used to stand continuously for 8 hours in that one cubicle, and we used to do. I think we did a lot of trials, around 10 trials, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of trials, and on top of that, we would try and
Yeah,
make the setup in the same dimensions as
yeah.
we would get in
So
the
Arjun and
competition.
Manjot had to make
So we would stand in that
four
limited
desserts.
space.
They had to make a 1 kilo chocolate cake, which the garnish had to represent their theme, which was zodiac or horoscope. Then they had to make a glass dessert, correct, based on flavors that represent your country, correct? And we made sago pudding with coconut sago
Yeah.
pudding, correct?
With
Sago pudding,
yeah, coconut sago pudding with some
wedges,
orange
yeah. And then
wedges, and I think we
yeah,
had
then you had
a
to make
sponge
three
as well,
different kinds of bonbons,
micro.
20 pieces each. Am I right? And what was the fourth dessert you had to make?
Yes.
The plated dessert. The plated dessert. And
Oh,
it had to be,
the
I
plated
remember
dessert. I
Manjot
always
made
forget
it
the plated dessert.
a replica of Saturn. Yeah,
Coffee ice
yeah.
cream base.
So guys, they had, yeah,
Yeah.
so they had
It
four
had to be
desserts to make, 20 pieces of each dessert plus a chocolate showpiece plus a sugar showpiece in 16 hours. That is 8 hours per day. Oof. I don't know how y'all must have been so nervous, but y'all pulled it off. It was amazing. Uh, I was there to see y'all. Y'all worked so hard, and y'all really did an amazing job in Italy.
Thank you so much, Chef. And Really, your
Yeah,
guidance was and the support that you gave, even when we were not doing well, we were disheartened or
yeah,
something. You pulled us back out, like, come on, guys, once
yeah,
more, just do it. It
yeah.
was really nice.
So, Arjun, it was nice seeing you today. It was nice chatting with you. Guys, you can always reach Arjun on his Insta handle and ask him any questions you want. You can reach me. You can even DM on the Academy page. You have any questions for us, you can reach us anytime. Right, Arjun?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm always available. If I'm not at work, especially right now, you have nothing to
Yeah.
do, right?
Good. Okay, Arjun. Hmm.
But even during these times, we are still working, you know.
Like,
I'm still working right
really?
now.
What are you doing?
As I said, people still will be eating. Yeah, we have orders coming
Oh,
in. We have special orders, and the workforce has reduced. The shops are
okay.
not operating the
Orders
same
coming
way,
in.
but we have special orders,
Okay,
delivery
okay.
orders.
So the shops are not
Yeah.
open in Dubai? No, not even for takeaway.
Currently, they just started.
Hmm.
No, they opened recently. They were always open
Okay.
for takeaway. Takeaway
Hmm.
never stopped. Deliveries never stopped. Uh, but for a short period of time, they stopped the malls and no
Oh,
one could enter them. But
okay.
now everything is open till 10
Oh,
p.m.
okay.
Everyone is allowed to
Okay,
move
guys.
out.
So, guys, please stay safe. Arjun, you too, please stay safe. Uh, However the situation is in Dubai, whether it's good or bad, even here in Goa,
Yeah.
I'm in Goa at the moment. It's considered a green zone, but we still have to be really safe. Please wear your mask, keep sanitizing your hands. Please be safe. Arjun, you too. Okay, it was nice seeing you. Hope to catch up with you very soon again.
Yes. You too, chef, and
Bye,
everyone.
guys. Bye, Arjun.
Take care, chef. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.